KLZ-TV's Gil Mueller is a World War II veteran who served in the Army Air Corps and the European theater.
I was in the Air Force. I flew on 23 combat missions on a C-47. I was a radio radar operator in Europe with the 9th Air Force.
Television was just coming to Denver when Mueller graduated from CU. He joined KLZ Radio in 1951.
Because they were anticipating television, they needed somebody who knew how it worked, and I was one. We were caught in the freeze, the license freeze, but we had our field equipment. And I used the equipment to train our people, and also directors, cameramen, floor people. And while I was doing that, I looked across the room and saw this beautiful red-haired girl. She was working part-time in the boss's office. I went over and talked to her, and she became my wife. And we were together for 56 years. The CBS network, which we had, did the political conventions. So we wired the Lincoln Street side of the Shirley Savoy for closed circuit. About that time, we finally got our license, and I supervised the installation of the equipment.
Gil teamed up with Chief Engineer Gene Jenkins to change the building into a television and radio station.
In that building, which was originally had been a Packard garage, if anybody remembers a Packard anymore. I drew the plans for the layout of the equipment and the wiring. We built in-house all the modules and the equipment for the pulse distribution, the video distribution, the audio distribution, the intercom system. Since we were using vacuum tubes, on Saturday we didn't sign on till about 11 o'clock because we started at 6:30 in the morning checking tubes. But if you had to substitute one, then you might have to readjust the whole equipment to get it to run again. We had black and white cameras, no sound. Then we modified the film cameras for optical sound. Then we had to modify them again for mag sound.
Channel 7 had one of the first 2-inch wide videotape machines that was not in New York or Los Angeles. The deck was on casters, so Gil and the staff modified it so it could be used on remote broadcasts in Denver.
We did John Starzl's, or Dr. Starzl's first kidney transplant. We also did a Wide World of Sports for CBS at Halsam Hill in Steamboat. Normally we were running 2 remotes a week. We did Gene Amel's Panorama, and then we did the stock car races at Lakeside. The early days were fun. There was nothing like live television. When the videotape machines came in and you could do it over, we missed a lot of the spontaneity. There's something about live television that you can't beat. When we finally got electronic editing, and for the news department, when they got time code, it speeded things up quite a bit.
After putting the station on the air once, Gil then had to start all over again when KMGH-TV moved into the new building.
We decided that the equipment would be modular, it would be solid state. As an engineer, this was fun because I was able to design, breadboard, prototype, and manufacture equipment, and then install it, which the station used for over 10 years.
In his 36 years at the station, Gil had to not only keep up with technology year to year, he built 2 different TV stations for Channel 7 in Denver.
This was all self-learned. We started with equipment that ran on vacuum tubes, and then went to those that used discrete transistors, then to those that used ICs, and then to those that used microprocessors. I had a job I loved for 36 years.
The broadcast professionals of Colorado welcome Gil Mueller to the 2012 Hall of Fame.